Are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is round 2 of the X-Wing Store Championships live from Total Escape Games. Starting us off in this round, we've got Brad Lutz. There's that list for you. Dash, Rendar, Push the Limit, Kanan, Outrider title, and Heavy Laser upgrade, or Heavy Laser Cannon and an engine upgrade. And Nora Wexley is back. R2-D2, Push the Limit, C-3PO, Alliance Overhaul, Vectored, Thrusters. On the other side, we have Justin Mazouat. Darth Vader, Lieutenant Colzet, Pure Sabak, Simtar Squadron. The players started without us, so we're going to jump right into this game, apparently. They don't follow directions well. We've had moves from the Simtar Squadron pilot. And from Lieutenant Colzet. Pure Sabak has to boost there because of those adaptive ailerons. And then a short little move and a barrel roll for an action here. Now it'll be Brad's turn. He's going to move both of his ships at pilot skill 7 here. So he gets to pick the order. Nora Wexley moving forward. Lots of Nora Wexley in the room today. This is a 26-player event today, so we're going to go 4 rounds and a cut to top 8. That's what I've been told by my tournament organizer. Dash Rendar following closely behind Nora there. Darth Vader, the last thing to move. He's all the way in the lower right-hand side of your screen. We're going to try and keep track of those 2 different tie advances for you. Vader's going to barrel roll there. And that second action is a boost out of Vader. No combat there whatsoever. The players go back to dials, starting their second turn. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, or morning, depending on where you're at. I guess it's still morning for me here for another 10 minutes. You can see our brand new player cams there. Justin Mazouat's on the right-hand side. Brad Lutz is on the left-hand side. From high above in the ceiling, you've got that top-down camera. We're looking at 3 asteroids and 3 debris fields that were laid before we went live. Justin's got his dial down for Vader. It's the first dial on the table. Both these players won their first round matches. A slow turn 2 dial process. I expect turn 2 to go a little quicker, to be honest, because there's a lot of empty real estate on this table right now. We have a dial down on Pure Sabak, who's hanging out in the upper right-hand corner. Pure Sabak has adaptive aileron, so of course has to boost before anything else happens. Also, trick shot. So obstructed shots get an extra red die for you there. All of Justin's dials are on the table. Brad gets his second dial down. Life starts out with a Simtar Squadron pilot from Justin. 3 straight here. That TIE shuttle has both an intelligence agent and Kylo Ren aboard. There's a focus because show them the power of the dark side is not legal from Kylo Ren here. Lieutenant Colzet with a 2 straight there. And a focus token. Adaptive ailerons to start off things from Pure Sabak. There's a boost to the right, followed by a 2-bank back to the left. I love Pure Sabic here. It's a challenging ship to fly well. You've really got to be thinking ahead. Brad moving Dash Rendar first, so he's going to mark Nora Wexley's location and move Dash 4 straight here. Skirting the left-hand side of your screen and moving towards the top there. Put Nora Wexley back. And flip Wexley's dial here. Oh, after Dash takes a boost action. And then a focus on push the limit. Get a stress token and a focus token there. Nora Wexley with a 2 straight. Swapping the position of those ships. Nora Wexley was in front of that little caravan to start the game off. Darth Vader next here on the table. Justin reveals a 2 straight maneuver. And, of course, Darth Vader, been around here a long time. Has that built-in push the limit, so he's going to be looking at 2 actions here. Going to start off by boosting Darth Vader. Checks range for a target lock, and, of course, we are nowhere near a target lock range. Puts an evade token down. There is no combat in this round. The players go back to dials here for turn 3. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Back to Dials and Total Escape Games. I'm John Stevens with your play-by-play today. Manning the technical booth is producer Joe, one of the founders of Back to Dials here. Justin with the first dial down there on that Scimitar Squadron pilot. And Pure Sabic's dial is down. We get a Dash Rendar dial from Brad here. I'm getting a message from one of our tournament organizers, and the answer to that question is yes, those are for a different event. So we'll answer that question for my TO today. Dials are down on Justin's side. Brad's dials are down. Out of range on the intelligence agent. That bomber's going 4 straight. That'll cover a lot of space. Gonna try and show the power of the dark side to Dash Rendar. Doesn't work. Can't show the power of the dark side to Nora. And Lieutenant Kolzat takes a focus token. Or sorry, Scimitar Squadron takes a focus token. Kolzat with the 5 straight here. Attempts to target lock Nora and does not have range. And a focus token there. Pure Sabic with his adaptive ailerons boost. It's a 1 bank to the right. Reveals a 3 straight maneuver after that. And Pure Sabic still has an action coming here. You'll remember that Pure Sabic, undamaged, gets to throw 4 attack dice. There's a barrel roll to the left. Both sevens get to go here from Brad now. Starting with Dash Rendar, this one bank is going to put him real close. But he fits in there next to Pure Sabic. Brad staring down at that table, trying to make an action decision here for Dash Rendar. Dash is going to take a boost action here. That'll break Pure Sabic's ability to fire at Dash. Pushes the limit there again to get a focus token. Nora with a one bank maneuver. We're going to have some combat this round, finally. Players have danced around the table long enough. Target lock, push the limit, focus token. That focus token ended up on Pure Sabic just briefly. Justin was nice enough to push it back towards Nora Wexley. We're marking the Lieutenant because Darth Vader has revealed a 5 straight maneuver that's going to take him right through the Lieutenant. Lieutenant Kolzat returns to his spot on the table. Vader with 2 actions. Vader takes a target lock on Nora Wexley here. And Vader takes a focus token for his second action. Combat begins. Vader with a range 3 attack. Just barely range 3. Vader range 3 to Nora Wexley. Has an ATC on him. 1 hit and 1 crit here. Range 3, Nora Wexley with 2 dice here. Guesses 1 on C3PO. Just rolls 2 evades anyway. And now we get combat out of the 7s. Nora Wexley at Pure Sabic, range 2 here. 3 red dice from Nora. Spend the target lock to add a focus. There's that extra focus die. 2 hits and a crit there. Pure Sabic rolls 2. Oh, a direct hit on Pure Sabic there. It's down to 2 hull. That turns off that extra attack dice before Pure Sabic ever gets to attack. Dash Rendar with lots of options here. Attacking the bomber. That Scimitar Squadron shuttle has both Kylo Ren and an intelligence agent on it. Filthy, filthy red dice there for Dash Rendar. Spends the focus and puts 4 hits on your dice cam. Spends the focus on the bomber there. Gets 2 evades as a result of that. Takes 2 damage on the Scimitar Squadron pilot. He'll go down to 4 hull there. Sabic has no attack. We're marking Vader. Just just barely outside of range 3, so we will not have an attack there from Lieutenant Colzit. Scimitar Squadron Bomber at Nora. 1 crit in the box. No evades. Nora will take a crit. It'll kill the first shield off there. Nora Wexley to 6 hull and 2 shields now. And the players are back to dials. So in the first round of combat, we see Nora Wexley lose just a single shield on Brad's side. We see Pure Sabic take 2 hits on Justin's side. He's down to 2 hull there. We see a Scimitar Squadron pilot also take 2 hits. Of course, that bomber is a beefy beast. Still has 4 hull left. Really, that bomber is not here to do a ton of damage. It's here to show people the power of the dark side. Kylo Ren hanging out on that bomber. Just to clear up a little confusion in the middle of the table, we do have a pair of TIE Advances on that table. The one lower to your screen and closer to the middle of the mat is Lieutenant Colzit. And Darth Vader is up and slightly to his left there. Dial down for Dash Rendar pretty quickly. Dial down for that TIE Shuttle pretty quickly. And the dial for the shuttle up, and the dial for the shuttle down, and the dial for the shuttle up. We're going to see Nora Wexley this time, actually, or not Nora Wexley, excuse me. We're going to see that intelligence agent finally get to do something. At the very least, we know it can see both of those ships. So he'll get to look at a dial here. Still awaiting 1 dial from each player. And Brad gets that Nora Wexley dial down. Justin gets that last TIE Advance dial down. Double checks that he's happy with things. Oh yes, Intel Agent is range 2. Forgive me, please. 1 straight from this TIE bomber here. Nora Wexley is going to see the power of the dark side from Kylo Ren. And that will get us a blinded pilot here. Blinded pilot. Lieutenant Colzit with a 3 bank here. Runs him just to the left of Darth Vader there. And Colzit takes a target lock on Nora Wexley there. He's got a boost on the ailerons here. It is to the left there. And then a 1 hard to the left. Don't know if it's going to fit in there yet. It will not fit, so Pure Sabic bumps Nora Wexley here. And here go the 7s from Brad Lutz. A little bank maneuver from Dash Rendar there. We're going to use Kanan there. focus token on Dash Rendar, who's looking around the table now to determine where a target lock goes. I believe on a push to limit we might have missed a stress token there. There's that stress token. Kanan Jarrus was used to remove the previous turn's stress token. And then, of course, pushing puts another stress token on. Nora Wexley with a short little move there. Has Pure Sabic in her rear arc. But it won't matter because Nora Wexley is blind right now. Oh, she's not yet blind. Yes. Vader with a 2 straight maneuver here as the last thing to move on the table. Vader tokens up, focus and evade. Rolling 3 dice here on this attack. Hit, hit, crit. Justin doesn't quite get them in there, but we have hit, hit, crit. That crit from ATC. Guessing 0 here on C3PO. Target lock is not on Vader and can't be spent here, it doesn't sound like. They're going to go to the judge with a rules question here. The 3PO guess was 0. He rolled an eyeball, so 3PO is going to trigger here. So Nora Wexley cannot spend the target lock to get an evade here. Little confusion there from Brad. He cannot add a dice. He can choose to spend a focus token here. Won't avoid the crit. He decides to save the focus. So Nora's going to lose a shield. And now Nora's going to take that blinded pilot. So Nora is now blind. Lots of complicated interactions there for the players. So Nora Wexley will not get to attack here because of that blinded pilot. Dash Rendar. Range 3 attack at Pure Sabic. Spend the target lock. Got 4 hits there. 2 dice from Pure Sabic. 2 evades. Taking 2 damage. The direct hit that Pure Sabic took face up last round means Pure Sabic is done with this game. We've got the first dead ship here. Lieutenant Colzette. Attacking at range 2, Nora Wexley. Adds a crit from ATC. Justin's still struggling to actually get those dice under the camera. Was total of 1 crit. Brad rolls the evade, no damage. TIE Squadron, or Scimitar Squadron here. Range 2 at Nora Wexley. 1 crit. Spends the focus. Gets some evades there. And Brad just figured out what's going on here. Lieutenant Colzette flips a random damage card here. Lieutenant Colzette flips a random damage card on a ship that he has a target lock. That blinded pilot will flip back up on Nora Wexley, and Nora Wexley will again not attack next turn. Blinded pilot turned back up. Makes this an interesting turn here for Nora. Of course, R2-D2 means that Nora should be able to get a shield back here, depending on what Brad wants to do. Vader still has his target lock on Nora. Now Vader is the uppermost and slightly left of those 2 TIE Advanced, just to the left of the center of your screen. First blood did occur this last turn. Pure Sabic is dead without ever getting a chance to fire a shot. Scimitar Squadron pilot, of course, still down 2 hull from an earlier combat exchange. On Brad's side, Nora Wexley is down a couple of shields and is blinded by another turn here because of that interaction between Kylo Ren, Power of the Dark Side, and Lieutenant Colzette. All the dials are down here. Scimitar Squadron pilot is first. I suspect we're going to see an intelligence agent used. Intel agent on Dash Rendar. Justin flips that dial over, but he doesn't share it with us. Don't know where it's going. Scimitar Squadron pilot with a 1 straight maneuver here. We're going to show the Power of the Dark Side to Dash Rendar this turn and find the second blinded pilot. There's the Power of the Dark Side and that second blinded pilot. Lieutenant Colzette going 2 straight here. Vader got bumped a little. We're going to fix him. Colzette with the target lock on Nora. Dash Rendar. Gonna fly over an asteroid here, it looks like. Oh. Right over that asteroid. Target lock on Kolzat. Oh, Dash Rendar. That asteroid doesn't matter. See, I forget these things. Nora Wexley with a short little maneuver. So Nora Wexley does regenerate a shield. Vader making a too hard turn to the right here. Trying to keep himself right on Nora Wexley. Wexley is, of course, blinded this turn. Vader fits in just in front of that debris field. Checking a boost here to see if it's a legal move. It is not. I suspect we're about to see a barrel roll here. Getting out of the area where Vader would run into that next turn. There is a barrel roll, of course. Nora Wexley is actually down to 5 hull there. Of course, that blinded pilot is damaged that avoided shields. Combat starts with Vader attacking 3 at range 1. Looks like we're looking at hit, focus, focus, and Justin trying to decide what to do with the ATC here. Justin doesn't necessarily want to add. He'd like to just know that he's going to turn blinded pilot up again with Lieutenant Kolzat, but he might end up in a spot where he has to make a different decision. ATC means we've got hit, 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 crit. Or hit, hit, crit, crit. Excuse me. C-3PO guessing 0. Takes 2 shields there. Does not put any more damage dice there. Means Lieutenant Kolzat's going to get to blind Nora. Blinded pilot flips down here because Nora doesn't get to attack. HLC Rendar at Kolzat. We've got 4 hits on the dice cam. 3 dice here. So we lose the shields. And takes a couple of hits there after his green dice go cold on him. Kolzat will once again, at the end of the turn, spend that target lock and flip blinded pilot back up. So Nora Wexley should be at 5 hull and 0 shields. She is blinded again for next turn by that Kylo-Kolzat combination. Dash Rendar, 5 and 5. He's the current target of Power of the Dark Side with a second blinded pilot there. But it appears right now Justin's strategy is to stick himself to Nora Wexley until Nora is not a problem anymore. Lieutenant Colzet is aimed away from everything. That Scimitar Squadron pilot aimed away from everything. Dash Rendar is about to run over debris, but I've been reminded that Dash Rendar don't care now about no debris. Justin's going to eventually remember to move those dice off the tray so that you don't have to stare at giant-sized dice. Got a couple of Imperial dials down on the Scimitar Squadron pilot and on Darth Vader. Dash Rendar is down. The sort of soft lock that Justin has going here could make life difficult for Nora Wexley. At the same time, Pure Sabik left this table without ever firing around. All 3 dials down for Justin Mazouat. Waiting on a second dial from Brad Lutz, who has to decide where Nora is going. There's that second dial, and the players are ready to go back to moving. Intel agent shows a hard 3 for Dash Rendar. We're going to mark the front of Colzet here, so that Scimitar Squadron pilot can be on the move. Hard 3 turn to the left for that TIE shuttle. Colzet returns to where he used to be. Bomber Boy is on the barrel roll boy. I think that's going to put him in Dash Rendar's donut here. I haven't seen this Dash Rendar set up recently, but I'm pretty sure Dash Rendar still has that donut here. One bank from Lieutenant Colzet. He's going to attempt to target lock Dash Rendar here. He does have it. So if they put some damage on Dash Rendar, he'll be able to play with that blinded pilot. Ahead, of course, is a bump here. The beauty of Intelligence Agent is Justin knew exactly where he needed to put that bomber to cause the bump. Does not clear stress. Nora Wexley with a 2 straight here. Brad accidentally flipped up Darth Vader's dial. Darth Vader's dial has a 2 straight on it. Brad might have gotten a little extra information there. Target lock on Vader here. Hard 3 out of Darth Vader there. Vader boosts here. Target lock goes from Nora to Dash following that boost. Vader's going to get to pound on the side of Dash Rendar here. It is range 2. Hit crit on Dash. No blanks, so a shield comes off Dash Rendar. Dash Rendar gets the honor of owning that blinded pilot there. No firing from Brad. Both those blinded pilots flip down. Colzet is going to flip Dash's blinded pilot back face up. Dash Rendar will spend next turn blinded. Nora Wexley will not yet. Nora Wexley is not blinded next turn. But this is wonky. This is a lot of fun for me to watch, to be honest. It's very well designed for the two-ship meta that seems to have taken things over recently. Dash Rendar, of course, has a blinded pilot now and is now at 4 hull and 4 shields. The other thing that Kylo Ren there does is he cuts underneath those shields. He put a crit on the ship. You get to give him that blinded pilot. We've got first 2 dials down for Justin. 2 dials down for Brad. Brad's changing his mind here, though. We'll keep those tie advanced straight for you again. That is Darth Vader, middle of the table, slightly above center. Dash Rendar has a 1 hard on his dial. Bomber is doing a 1 bank here after that intelligence agent reveals the dial. There's 35 minutes left in the round for these players. Barrel roll here from that bomber. Colzette with a 1 bank here. After Colzette's little 1 bank maneuver, he has an action to decide here. Colzette's putting a target lock on Dash Rendar here. Nora Wexley gets to move, and we'll have the option of finally shooting again here. Let's see what she ends up aimed at. And a focus token there. Regens a shield, puts a second shield back on Nora Wexley here. Dash making a 1 hard here. That maneuver, of course, fits. It gets around the Scimitar Squadron pilot. Kanan is going to take the stress off there. Dash Rendar looking at a barrel roll here. Reminding Brad how to do a barrel roll here on a big ship. There's a barrel roll from Dash Rendar. Sticks him right in Darth Vader's face. Darth hasn't moved yet. We'll see where Vader is headed to. Focus token on Dash Rendar. That second action should put a stress token back on Rendar. Darth Vader was planning a 1 bank and plows into Dash Rendar there. It means Vader has nothing to shoot at. No shot from Nora Wexley. Dash Rendar is blinded. He'll flip his blinded pilot down. Scimitar Squadron pilot facing out of combat there, doesn't get to a shoot. Players are, of course, back to dials here in round 2 of the X-Wing Store Championships, live from Total Escape Games in Broomfield, Colorado. As those players plan, we'll remind you that this is round 2 of 4 today. 26 players means 4 rounds of X-Wing, and it cut to a top 8. Both of these players won round 1. Justin with that 100-0 list, abusing Blinded Pilot against a 2-shit Fat Rebel list in round 1. Players have about 31 minutes left in the round. They keep asking. If they ask every 4 minutes, I may go out to the table and hit people. Scimitar Squadron Pilot with a 1 bank to the left. Going to show the power of the dark side of Dash Rendar here, finding a stunned pilot. Lieutenant Colzat with a hard 3 maneuver here. Target lock on Dash Rendar here. There's a 3 turn from Nora Wexley. Nora Wexley with a target lock and a focus and a stress token on push to limit. Dash Rendar with a hard 1 here. We'll mark Darth Vader. Vader bumped into Dash Rendar last turn. And of course, Dash Rendar plowing into more debris fields and not giving 2 hoots. Darth Vader goes back onto the table. A couple of target locks on Dash from Vader and from Lieutenant Wexley right now. Still a stress token on Dash. Kanan cleared that stress, so Brad will get it off the table for us. Brad still trying to make some decisions here in regards to where things are going. Dash Rendar, of course, has Blinded Pilot face up. It got turned up again by Lieutenant Colzat. He also has a Power of the Dark Side with a stunned pilot that is currently targeting him. So focus token on Dash Rendar, knowing that he doesn't get to attack this turn. And Dash Rendar is also going to take a target lock on Darth Vader, who is next to move here with a 4K heading down the board. Vader gets stressed there, so doesn't get 2 actions. He does get to attack Dash Rendar at range 2 to start off combat here. Hitting a crit there. Two blanks for Dash Rendar. So Dash Rendar goes to 3 shields. Dash Rendar also takes that stunned pilot face up and is down to 3 hull. The 7s get to shoot here. Nora Wexley at Darth Vader. Range 3 through a rock. TIE fighters are hard to hit at range 3 through a rock. We get some fun dice playing, and we eventually end up with 3 hits and a crit in the box. 5 green dice, though, here. 2 evades from Justin there. Of course, he can't modify. Vader had a stress token from that 4K. He loses both shields on Darth Vader, down to 3 hull. And blinded pilot on Dash Rendar goes face up. Dash is again blind next turn. He's also stunned next turn. So stunned pilot, of course, will stay face up the rest of this game after he executes a maneuver that causes him to overlap either another ship or an obstacle. He'll suffer a damage. I guess that's one way to deal with the Dash Rendar doesn't care about obstacles thing. And Dash Rendar is again blinded for this turn, so he will not get to attack here. All the way down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, that Scimitar Squadron pilot is facing out of combat. You have to expect that Justin's going to try and get him back here at some point soon. To the right of that Scimitar Squadron pilot is Darth Vader. He did a 4K turn. That's why he's stressed right now. But he is aimed back towards combat. And Lieutenant Colzet at the top of your screen for Justin is aimed back towards combat. Just out of range 2, so no intel agent. 5K on the bomber. We figured that Justin was going to want to get him spun back around there. And long maneuver to do it. Puts him stressed. Lieutenant Colzet with a 5 straight maneuver. And a target lock on Dash Rendar. And the 7s go. Nora Wexley with that stress token from Push the Limit last turn. A hard left turn there of the 3 variety from Dash Rendar. Dash has a target lock on Darth Vader, I believe, and has 2 target locks on him from Colzet and Vader. There is 23 minutes left in the round. The only loss so far, of course, is that Pure Sabak. Focus and a stress token. We're going to have to mark Lieutenant Colzet there. Or not. Because that maneuver won't complete any way we slice it. Nora Wexley plows into Lieutenant Colzet. It is a green maneuver. Puts the last shield back. Darth Vader fits in there. Just barely, folks. There is so little space between them right now. Darth Vader, of course. Focus and evade, it looks like. Already has a target lock. Range 1 shot from Darth Vader. ATC adds a crit. We've got hit, hit, crit in the box. A hit and a crit there takes 2 more shields off Dash Rendar. Down to two, or down to one shield there. Dash is stunned and blinded. He'll get to turn that blinded pilot down, ever so briefly. Range 2, oof. 3 hits there. An evade token and 2 evade dice means Vader doesn't take any damage there. Scimitar Squadron pilot did get turned around and is facing combat, but is out of range right now. And blinded pilot gets turned back up by Lieutenant Colzet yet again, folks. You got to think Dash Rendar really wants to get out of Colzet's range 3 area here. Darth Vader got shot at by Nora Wexley there, but didn't take any damage, so he still has all 3 hull left. Lieutenant Colzet down to 2 hull. Scimitar Squadron pilot down to 4 hull. No shields left on any of those Imperials. Dash Rendar has 2 face-up damage cards, stunned pilot and blind pilot. Brad hasn't actually turned that blinded pilot back up, but he will. And Nora Wexley has a 5 hull, back to 3 shields because of the wonders of R2-D2. Still a little confusion on the table because that blinded pilot, I believe, was announced as turned back up. Lieutenant Colzet has taken his target lock off, but I don't see the blinded pilot face up on the table yet. Confusion is averted. With 20 minutes left in the round. There are 20 minutes left in the round as the players get these dials back down. Scimitar Squadron pilot, nothing from Intel Agent. And a little 1 move straight forward there. And a barrel roll. Lieutenant Colzet, folks. With the little 1 bank there. Or 2 bank. 1 bank. Hard to tell from 10 feet up in the ceiling. And yet another target lock on Dash Rendar. Here come the 7s. Dash Rendar. With the bank to the left there. Puts Darth Vader behind him. Once again, Dash Rendar is blinded. 3rd turn in a row? 4th turn in a row, maybe? Dash Rendar hasn't seen things very well this game. Rendar already has a target lock. He's contemplating a barrel roll here. The barrel roll is legal. He'll fit in there. Keeps the stress to get a focus token. Nora Wexley with a 3 straight maneuver. Easily fits in there and to the right side of Darth Vader. That Darth Vader is facing up and to the left for you right now. Target lock on Lieutenant Colzet. Looks like we're taking a token, so we should have pushed the limit there and gotten yet another stress token. Brad keeps forgetting those stress tokens. After Vader moves, he's going to boost to the left. And a barrel roll back for Darth Vader. Vader doesn't get a shot there. Dash Rendar gets to turn down Blinded Pilot. Players move things around a little bit on accident and have decided to let the dice decide if it's range 1 or range 2. Dice decided is a range 2 attack. Spending a target lock here. Four dice here. Only 2 there. Colzet takes a crit. And that is the final damage that Colzet needs. He is dead now. We missed one earlier. There are clearly three damage cards on Lieutenant Colzet, though. That means we will not be seeing that Blinded Pilot turn back up. One hit on Dash Rendar. Last shield comes off of Dash Rendar. Players go back to dials with Lieutenant Colzet joining Pure Sabak as dead. Dash Rendar lost the last shield there, down to 3 hull. Stun Pilot, of course, stays here. Blinded Pilot will not be turned back up. Players have 15 minutes left in the round as they're planning this turn of dials. Dash Rendar, of course, is below half, and it's going to be worth half points for Justin. Two ships left for Justin. Scimitar Squadron Pilot. Down in that lower left-hand corner, he did get turned around and is facing combat. He also should be in range for both Intelligence Agent and for Kylo Ren this round. Has 4 hull left on that ship. Darth Vader is left of center and about the middle of your top to bottom screen. He is facing down to the left as well, so he'll need to get turned around for combat here. For Brad, Dash Rendar has 3 hull left. He is facing down and to the right on your screen. Nora Wexley, 5 hull and 3 shields. R2-D2 been doing some work there on Nora. Dials are down, and here we go. Intel Agent reveals a hard 3 there. Also a hard 3 from that Scimitar Pilot. Taking a focus token there. Dash Rendar with that hard 3 that we discovered under the Intelligence Agent. Got to put that Outrider back on its base now. Brad real bad with those stress tokens. I'm assuming Kanan removed it, or we wouldn't be talking about actions. Dash Rendar with at least 1 action. Maybe 2. Focus token. Gonna try and fit a barrel roll in there. And of course, because that is an action and not a maneuver, the stunt pilot doesn't matter here. Dash Rendar's target lock is down there on that Scimitar Squadron pilot. After Nora's maneuver, she's going to make a barrel roll here. At the very least, that gives Nora a shot at that Scimitar Squadron pilot at range 1 before we see what Darth Vader does. Vader's going on a hard 2. It's going to give Nora Wexley options now, depending on where Vader actually ends up. We're getting a barrel roll from Darth Vader, removing Nora Wexley's option of firing at Darth Vader. Or maybe not. I think we're still going to have a range there. But Darth Vader, advanced targeting computer, very close to Nora Wexley. It could be a painful attack here at 10 pilot skill. Could also be the option to attack Dash Rendar here. Dash Rendar has 3 hull left, but that's going to be a range 2 at least, and maybe range 3. And closest to closest probably puts this through debris. Brad remembering to put his stress out there after Nora double actioned on push the limit. Darth Vader is going to boost after his barrel roll. That will remove the Nora Wexley option to attack, assuming that it is a legal boost. It appears to be a legal boost here. Darth Vader, range 1. So 3 red dice plus that ATC. It is 3 hits and a crit. Dash Rendar will take hit, crit here. That's going to remove Dash Rendar from this table. I got to tell you, 2 turns ago, when the lieutenant died, I was a little worried here for Justin. He'd lost Pure Sabak without it ever firing around. He'd lost the lieutenant and couldn't play games anymore with those blinded pilot cards. A 3-die attack at Darth Vader here. Only 1 hit there. Darth Vader does not evade, getting focus and 2 blanks. Vader down to 2 hull left. That's the first damage card we put on him. And Dash Rendar leaves this table, so his day is done. The players approach about 8.5 minutes left in this game. They are planning for a lot fewer ships now. Brad's got Nora Wexley left, 5 hull, 3 shields. Justin Mazouat has Darth Vader with 2 hull left, and that Scimitar Squadron pilot. That Scimitar Squadron pilot is in range of Nora Wexley, so we're going to see Kylo Ren do some shenanigan-y things again. There'll be a little less shenanigan-y now that Lieutenant Colbert. Can I call him Lieutenant Colbert the rest of the day? Probably won't matter, because I think the only time I'm going to see him is if Justin's playing. We'll call him Lieutenant Colzet for now, then. We discovered that Brad was actually moving the wrong dial, because Justin had accidentally cleared that outrider dial. Or the ARC 170 dial, excuse me. Justin's got both his dials down. Brad's got his dial down. Intel agent there. Bomber going 4 straight. I suspect this action is Kylo Ren after that 4 straight maneuver. What do you go looking for if you want Kylo Ren here? Oh, he's not going to. He's going to barrel roll. Little bank maneuver there from Nora Wexley. Going to put a target lock on the Scimitar Squadron pilot. Darth Vader goes 5 straight. Debris Schmabri. Can I say things like that? Debris Schmabri. Going to have to roll for damage here. Not a crit. Vader gets a stress token. Nora Wexley, rear arc at Scimitar Squadron pilot. That's the only shot on the table. Two hits on that Scimitar Squadron pilot. 3 evades there. Natural on those dice. Players have a little less than 6 minutes left in this round now. We're going to be approaching the end of this game. Math is hard, so I can't tell you what the scores are. I can tell you that Nora Wexley has 5 hull and 3 shields left. Darth Vader has 2 hull. Scimitar Squadron pilot has 4 hull. I can also tell you that both of those pilots for Justin are facing other things. Neither Imperial fighter is facing Nora Wexley right now. Nora Wexley is 41 points total, so Dash Rendar should have been 58 in this 99-point list. So if math in my head is correct, Justin is just barely ahead right now. Darth Vader went forward and barrel rolled. It's possible that Justin has decided to just hide for now. 54 to 41 is the current score here. I believe that puts Justin in control here if he continues to just stay out of the way. Short little bank maneuver there from the Scimitar Squadron pilot. And a focus token. Hard right turn from Nora Wexley. Barrel roll from Nora so that she doesn't have to run that thing over next turn. Vader with a 2 hard here to the right. Vader cannot target lock. Vader can boost, but he can't boost with a hard turn maneuver. There's the boost from Darth Vader. And a focus is the second action, but it doesn't matter. We are back on our dials yet again. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the round, Brad has to cover space with Nora. He's got to get a kill here to take the lead. A 1 bank from the Scimitar Squadron pilot. And a focus token. 2 forward from Nora Wexley. Target lock and focus. And that should put a stress token on Nora Wexley as well for pushing the limit there. Darth Vader, straight maneuver here. Vader's going to take a target lock on Nora Wexley. And then Vader's going to boost. Nora attacking a bomber at range 3. Spends the target lock. Looks like 3 hits there on the table for us. 3 dice. Spend the focus to get 3 evades. No damage there. That was not what Brad needed to see. Very difficult for him to get that bomber off the table. Unless he can get to range 1 and get perfect dice. But you got to expect that Justin knows that. With 90 seconds left in this match, we may be looking at the last turn. Intel agent out of range here. That bomber's going to go 4 straight ahead. Try and stay away from Nora Wexley here. Nora Wexley banking to the left. That probably gets to range 2, but just to make sure, we're going to barrel roll in a little closer. Keeps the stress token from the push. Gets a focus token. Didn't take the target lock. May have made a mistake there. Darth Vader made his maneuver. This will be the last turn, as we have less than 10 seconds left on the clock here. Darth Vader, range 2 shot at the bomber. Attacking Vader with focus and evade. Or attacking that Scimitar Squadron pilot. Attacking the bomber in his forward arc. Three hits doesn't work. He needed crits there. He needed to try and flip some face-up direct hits on that squadron, on that Scimitar Squadron. Players extend their hands, and it is over. Justin Mazouat defeats Brad Lutz in round 2 of the X-Wing Store Championships, live from Total Escape Games. My name's John Stevens. For Joe Mazzotti in the booth, we're going to take a brief break. This is the lunch round, so we are back on the air at 1:40 Mountain Time. That's 3:40 Eastern Time. That's 6:40 Greenwich Mean Time, if my math is correct. My math typically isn't. Check your local listings, and we will be right back.